Hi, how are you? It's Iris Classon, and I am back with another stupid question of the day. And I'm recording today, as you can tell, with my webcam, an external one, but still a pretty shitty one. So the picture might be a little bit blurry, and the white balance is going to be off, and I'm too lazy to edit it. So sorry about that. Just recorded a podcast on migrating to ASP.NET Core, so my voice is a little bit like this. And I always feel I'm so embarrassed every time I do any type of recording. I don't know why. I cringe so hard when I hear or see myself. I just feel like I say a lot of stupid shit. So I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to keep talking and record a stupid question because I'm feeling sort of silly. So today's question is a continuation of another question I asked not too long ago. And that question was, somebody asked me how much time I spend each week to stay current in terms of .NET technologies and all that kind of stuff. And I replied to that, a longer video, and then I decided I want to know how much time other developers spend doing that. So today's question is, how much time do you spend outside of work to stay current? So I asked on Twitter. Obviously, a lot of people following me on Twitter and following people I follow on Twitter. That sort of retweeted tweet stuff, social media influencer. I don't know. People saw the question and they replied, and a lot of people who are active on Twitter are already active because they are interested in learning more. So the result of this poll might be a little bit skewed towards people spending more time staying current, because people who do not spend any time staying current, they maybe aren't on Twitter at all, obviously. So, and also the options I provided weren't the best. I only provided 4 options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta double check. Because you can't have more options than that when you do a Twitter poll. But nonetheless, these are the choices I gave people. Options, sorry. One is 0. I spend no time staying up to date, either because I get everything done during work, or I'm not interested, or I don't want to spend my own private time on things that are work related. Then the second option was a few hours. It's like 1 to 3 hours a week to stay current. And the third option was 4 to 10 hours. And then the last option was more than 10 hours, which is me. I spend more than 10 hours each week staying up to date. A little bit fanatic about that. It's not necessarily a good thing, in particular because I have a 10-week-old. So yes, different discussion. So 7% said 0, 41% said a few hours, 1 to 3 hours, and then another big chunk, 36%, said 4 to 10 hours. But what surprised me the most is that 16% said more than 10 hours, and that's a lot. I had over 1,100 people answer the poll, which is pretty decent, I reckon. And I'm actually surprised. I sort of expected more people to answer just a few hours or maybe even 0. But so we do spend a lot of time trying to stay current and stay up to date, and it just makes me think, how much should be how much of our own time should we invest as programmers to stay current? Is it fair to expect us to spend 10 hours more each week to stay current, or should this be sort of the responsibility of our employer to give us the time so we can stay current at work? Because obviously it's in our workplace best interest that we stay current. The people who replied 0, so the comments to this poll was really interesting, and it's still pinned on Twitter if you want to read the comments. There's a lot of really good interactions going on there. A lot of people who spent 0 time said that they did so because they get things done at work, and also because they value time with family and friends and other hobbies more, and they don't want to spend more time into this tech programming field than necessary. Some of them used to spend more time, but sort of decide that I've had enough. And the people said a few hours, you know, but that seems to be the most common answer. But then you get the large chunk who says between 4 and 10 hours. It's like 36% spent that much time. And what's interesting that a lot of people, when you get that amount of time, a lot of people talked about that they're very passionate about what they're doing and that programming is a hobby. So there seems to be sort of two groups here. People have it more as a job, this is my job, and then I go home and I do other shit. And then you have the group who sort of like, this is my passion, this is what I do, this is who I am. So I go home and I learn more and I want to code, and I want to stay current, so I'm going to spend a lot of time doing that. I'm not too surprised by the results. I am a little bit surprised how many people were spending up to 10 hours and then even more. And that makes me think if that's a good thing or not. I actually don't know. I'm very passionate about what I do and I enjoy it. At the same time, I do feel overwhelmed and sometimes I do feel pressured that I have to stay up to date. Obviously, this doesn't help, you know, because oh my God, I don't want to be worse than other people. But I have tremendous respect for people who can just close their laptop when they're done working and then they go home and they do something completely different. That's sort of awesome. All right, long video today. Sorry about that. I'm gonna end it now and let you go. Thank you for watching the video until the end, and share your thoughts and opinions and join the discussion. And I will return with another video in about a week's time. Yes. Bye.